You didn't start your business just to babysit it 24/7, did you? Honestly, most business owners end up becoming the most overworked employee on the team. I mean, you remain constantly buried under tasks, you're putting out fires, you are too overwhelmed to even think about stepping away. But luckily, it doesn't have to stay that way, because trust me, I have been there for many years. I started my first business back in 2014, but now in 2025, I've made a lot of improvements in the business and systemized and SOP'd everything. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how to systemize your business. Now, these actionable steps you can take right now to build systems so your business can run smoothly even while you sleep. Identify what you actually do. So before you can automate anything, you need to get clear on what you're actually doing in your business. And by this, I mean basically everything, because you can automate what you haven't even defined, right? So you can start by making a list of every recurring task you touch in your business. I'm talking about daily, weekly, monthly tasks, whatever keeps popping up over and over again. No need to overthink it, right? Just kind of a brain dump. To make it easier, you can break things into a few basic categories. Now, these categories can be marketing, they can be sales, or other operations. Basically, all the behind the scenes stuff. Now, you can use tools like Connect Team or whatever helps you stay organized, or even a whiteboard or notebook will do for now. The key really is to essentially take out 30 focused minutes and write down everything you handle. And you'll probably be shocked at how much of your business is sitting inside your head and how much of it it's slowing you down. Now, this step alone will show you why you're stuck, and more importantly, where to start untangling. Assign rhythm and prioritization. So once you've got your task list out of your head and in front of you, the next step is to bring structure to the chaos, because not all tasks are created equal, right? And not everything needs to happen right away. You need rhythm and a plan that doesn't rely on you remembering every single thing. So you can go back to that list and figure out what happens daily, what needs to be done weekly or even monthly. For example, maybe you send out clients invoices on the 1st of every month, or your Instagram posts go out every Monday and Wednesday, or you check in on analytics every Friday. Now, take those recurring tasks and drop them into a tool that'll keep you on track. Now, this could be as simple as Google Calendar reminders or recurring tasks in Notion or Connect Team. Most of these tools are free, and they're a massive upgrade from trying to keep everything in your brain. Because a business without a schedule is just chaos dressed in ambition. Build repeatable systems. Alright, now you know what you do and when you do it, let's tackle the big one. How do you actually get it done? Because if everything still lives in your head, you're always going to be the bottleneck, and that's the last place you want to be as your business grows. So this is where systems start to become real. We're talking about creating SOPs, the standard operating procedures. These are basically very simple instructions that anyone on your team can follow to get a task done the same way every time. Think of them as recipes for your business. Now, I know you might be thinking, ugh, SOPs sound boring and time-consuming, but they don't have to be. So you can start simple and scrappy. Just focus on one high-leverage task this week. It could be something you do often that takes up a decent chunk of time. A great example is client onboarding. So I'll show you how to do that. You start by recording yourself doing it using a tool like Loom. Capture your screen and talk through your processes like you're training someone. It doesn't need editing. Just press record and explain what you're doing as you go. So I've been using Loom for about 2 years now, and I've literally made about 600, maybe even 700 videos on Loom, where I'm basically creating SOPs, I'm giving instructions to an employee, and quite a lot of them are SOPs. I've also got an SOP library for all my businesses, because when we hire a new person into the team, we essentially just send them the SOPs so they're up to date. I don't have to essentially talk to that person and train them up for hours and hours and hours, because the SOP does that. And then when the second person is hired, again, the SOP goes to that person. When the third person is hired, the SOP goes to that person. So it's a very efficient way of just running a business. And an SOP can literally be just a list of things that that person needs to do in order to complete that task. It's really that simple. You can upload this SOP to Connect Team's knowledge base feature, where I can assure my employees can access all files and necessary information whenever they need it. It keeps everything centralized, searchable, and easy to update over time. And then you can add a few notes or context if you think it'll help. There can be links to templates, login info, or common mistakes to avoid, and that's it. You've essentially just created your first system. Now it'll save you time every time it's used. There are a few kind of best practices, I'd say, in order to make things even smoother though. So don't wait until everything is perfect, because version 1 is always better than nothing. You can start by organizing your SOPs into clear categories like marketing, sales, delivery, operations, so they're easy to find and manage, and give each SOP a clear searchable title so your team knows exactly what it's for. You can even go one step further and assign each SOP to a recurring task inside your project management tool so your team knows what to do and when. Remember, the real leverage is to document it once and repeat it forever, because when you can step away from a task confidently, knowing it will get done the way you want without your input, that's when you know you're building a true system, not just a to-do list. Automate and delegate. Once you've started building systems, it's time to stop doing everything yourself, because real freedom comes from removing yourself from the day-to-day. And that starts by figuring out who and what can take over the tasks you've systemized, right? So you can use tools like Zapier to connect different apps, or even integrate with Connect Team to automate employee scheduling. You can also integrate Connect Team with CRM platforms to streamline lead tracking and follow-ups. But I feel like the real power here is that Connect Team acts as an all-in-one employee management platform, so scheduling, time tracking, task management, and team communication can all happen in one place without juggling multiple tools. Then there are the tasks that still need a human touch, right? That's where delegation comes in. So you can hire a part-time assistant or a virtual assistant to handle repetitive tasks like managing emails, organizing files, repurposing content, or sending client updates. It's way more affordable than most people think. Many experienced offshore VAs charge anywhere from $6 to $15 an hour, and most automation tools fall within the around $30 to $70 a month range. So if you're still doing $10 an hour tasks, you're just capping your income and potential. And I've been there, believe me, but as soon as you start delegating those kind of repetitive tasks, your business will scale a lot faster, because that means you can spend a lot more of your time on the actual tasks that will grow the business, as opposed to just being busy all the time with all the smaller repetitive tasks. Your time should be better spent on vision, on growth, on leadership, which is why you don't just need to build systems, but also make sure you build a support engine around them. Refine and improve the machine. Now, most business owners skip maintenance, but systems aren't a kind of a build it and forget it deal. They're living, breathing parts of the business, and just like anything alive, they need attention. So you need to regularly check what's working, what's clunky, and any errors popping up. You need to be aware of team members or clients hitting roadblocks. Now, this is where feedback, both internal and external, become really important. Your job now isn't just to maintain the system, but to continuously improve it. So you can kind of make it a habit to refine just one system each month. Maybe you can update your onboarding process so it's clearer and faster, or maybe you can eliminate 2 unnecessary steps in your content workflow, for example. Now, these small optimizations might not feel game-changing in the moment, but over time they compound, and they're what keep your business running smoothly without you needing to constantly fix them. Remember, the goal isn't to build perfect systems. The goal is to build this business that improves by design and turns into a real engine for growth. And that's how you start building systems so your business can finally run without you micromanaging every step. So what's one task you're ready to systemize this week? Drop it in the comments, I'm so curious. And if you want to start building your systems today, try out Connect Team using the link below. It's free for teams with up to 10 users. And if your team is bigger, you can test it out with a 14-day trial, no credit card needed.